Wow. Wow. Us normal people, we often get accused of being filled with hate, filled with vitriol. Us normal people, we're often labeled intolerant, closed minded, unwilling to accept the lifestyle of others. Now, of course, this could not be further from the truth. I don't know about you guys, but I am way too busy to be worried about DoorDash Dan and his aspirations to become Fran. There is a term often used in the psychological community: projection. The concept of projection, rather simple. When someone places their own personal feelings onto another person, animal, or object, that is projection. For example, a man sees a beautiful woman in a bar. They start talking. She could not be less interested, but because his feelings of attraction for her are so strong, he will project those feelings onto her. Mentally, in his mind, he thinks everything's going well, when in reality, it's another swing and a miss. 48 hours ago, Ivan Provorov was relatively unknown. Unless you were a die-hard fan of the Philadelphia Flyers, you had likely never heard of this dude. By simply refusing to come out for pregame warm-ups, this dude has become the latest target of deacons at Woke United Methodist. We cover a lot of fake outrage here on the channel. I don't know if I have ever seen more fake outrage over something that is literally nothing. Now, for those that don't know, let me give you a quick recap. Tuesday night, the Flyers hosted the Traveling Butt Bongo Festival. The NHL called it Pride Night Celebration. The NHL, they asked players to wear rainbow jerseys during pregame warm-ups. Ivan Provorov, he didn't feel comfortable supporting a lifestyle that his religion doesn't agree with. He didn't make a big fuss, a big scene about it. He didn't infringe on anyone else who wanted to support the alphabet. He just chose not to come out for pregame warm-ups. That's it. That should have been end of story. But the wanker spankers, they just can't let it go. We are outraged! How dare this evil Russian refuse to support our love of the male anatomy? EJ Hradek, whatever his name is, he's a hockey analyst for the NHL Network. And I use the term analyst loosely here because JJ has a similar resume to MK, Mina Kimes, meaning he never played in the NHL. The only time his hands are on a stick is for purposes of pleasure. EJ, it doesn't really matter what his name is. This unconfirmed male birthing person, he was deeply offended that Ivan Provorov refused to wear a dress in the Pride Parade. In the mind of JJ, all men should get a good taste of the rainbow. Yesterday, I showed you guys the post-game comments from Ivan Provorov. He feels the same way I think most Americans feel. I do not have a problem with your sexual preferences. Mine are different. You do you, I'll do women. Now, this simple explanation, it was not enough for JJ. No. He was on the NHL Network last night making demands. He wants Ivan Provorov to forfeit his hockey career, return to Russia, and fight in the war in Ukraine. Watch for yourself.
And Ivan Provorov can get on a plane any day he wants and go back to a place where he feels more comfortable, take less money, and get on with his life that way, if it's that problematic for him. And he's been in North America for a long time. He played in the Western Hockey League. He's now been in Philadelphia for many years. If this is that much of a problem for him to maybe assimilate into his group of teammates and in the community and here in this country, that's okay. Listen, you can feel any way you want. But the beauty is, if it bothers you that much, there's always a chance to leave, go back where you feel more comfortable. I understand there's a conflict of sorts going on over there. Maybe get involved.
This poor fella. I can understand why EJ is so bitter. If I had lived 50, 55, 60 years and was never given the opportunity to be with a woman, I'd be bitter too. JJ, he said something in that clip that reminded me of the hypocrisy in the woke movement. This expectation that Ivan Provorov must sacrifice his own personal beliefs to assimilate to the woke commandments. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anytime Americans speak out about the Spanish language becoming more and more prevalent in this country, you hear Spanish options when calling 800 numbers, you see Spanish when going to the DMV. Anytime someone speaks out and says something to the effect of, the immigrant should have to assimilate to our culture, we should not have to make concessions for them, they should concede to us. Anytime that happens, the shit fucks. They throw around accusations of mythical racism. But when the roles are reversed, when it comes to a situation with the alphabet, all of a sudden, assimilation, it's not only okay, it's required. We are expected to assimilate to their beliefs. We are expected to not only accept the lifestyle, but also support it. Like I said yesterday, if the NHL was hosting a Christian Pride night and they expected atheist players to assimilate to the Christian faith, the shitfucks would accuse the NHL of trampling on their religious freedom. JJ kept mentioning this false notion that Ivan Provorov was bothered by this Pride night celebration, when in reality, the only people who were bothered are the barely human. Ivan Provorov, this dude could not give a fuck less about Pride night. The only ones bothered are the plebes and the media who were triggered that a professional athlete had the balls to take a stand. JJ, NHL Network, they were not the only fake outragers in the mainstream media. You just knew. You just knew. ESPN could not pass up a good opportunity to express their fake outrage. Greg Wyshynski is another NHL reporter with a name I can't pronounce. He has a lot of commonalities with his colleague at NHL Network. He has a rainbow-colored sports bra, and he can run unbelievably fast at the sight of a naked woman. Greg Gayerson took a break from swiping through Grindr profiles to let his lonely male followers know how upset he was with Ivan Provorov. He thought he had stumbled on a major revelation. The Gregor. He thought he found something from Ivan Provorov's past that proved he was guilty of the crime punishable by super cucumber insertion. Homophobia. Check it out for yourself. Of course, Ivan Provorov is more than happy to play dress-up when the attire aligns with his belief system. No shit. What a shocker. People like to wear clothing that aligns with what they personally believe. Leave it to a shitfuck at ESPN to think it's a negative for a professional athlete to be supportive of the military. After receiving pushback from normal people, the Gregor followed up with this blanket statement. Listen here, peasant, I will not debate you on Twitter. I've already made myself look like a dumbass. I can't do that again by being unable to defend my belief system. And number 2, I block anyone who disagrees with me. So, if you disagreed with my sentiment but also responded to my woke mating call, please contact me on Grindr. This right here, this is typical shitfuck logic. They have this expectation that you're supposed to agree with everything they say. When they receive resistance, when they're asked to defend their beliefs, they either block you or they run and hide with their emotional support shovel. Tuesday night, the Gregor was filled with fake outrage on Twitter. Our friends over at Outkick, they decided to reach out to him. They wanted to know why the Gregor was so upset. Greg, why are you so mad? Please try to understand that we'll never mistake you for a man. One of the guys at Outkick, they invited the Gregor onto one of their shows to have an open dialogue about this situation in the NHL. I mean, Greggy claims to be a senior NHL writer. This situation is by far the biggest news in the NHL this year. He was filled with fake outrage the other night, so it's only natural that a site like Outkick was curious to know why a supposed man would be this triggered by the fact that another man prefers peaches over cucumbers. Instead of the Gregor politely declining the invitation privately, he got on Twitter to explain why he would not be accepting this offer that no one else knew about. Some outlet wants me to come on their platform to defend my position. I will not be doing this because they called me stupid. They just want to use my big name to attract views to their platform. Really? Really? Before this video, How many of you guys had ever heard of Greg Wyshynski? The reason he declined to go on Outkick is because he knew he would look like a complete dumbass. There is no logical way that you can defend this fake outrage. I don't know if the Gregor had any credibility to begin with, but if he did, all credibility would be lost by being humiliated on a national platform. Now, I have been highly critical lately of the NHL because of their dedication to diversity, the sponsoring of hockey tournaments where male players are pitted against female players. But when it comes to Ivan Provorov, I will give the NHL credit. They issued a press release yesterday defending his right not to participate in the Pride Party. I was pleasantly surprised when I saw the statement. With their recent dedication to diversity, all the pressure the league is receiving to punish Ivan Provorov, I figured the NHL would assume the position and prepare for insertion, but they did the complete opposite. Maybe, just maybe, the NHL is not as dedicated to diversity as we initially thought. Perhaps it's nothing but a virtue signal, which, if that's the case, I don't understand. I don't understand why these powerful sports leagues continue catering to the shit fucks. These people are bums. They're losers. I also want to give credit to Flyers head coach John Tortorella. After defending his player Tuesday night, he came to his defense again yesterday. The media thought they were getting John Tortorella with a gotcha question. Back in 2016, he publicly stated that if one of his players stayed on the bench during the playing of the national anthem, their ass would also stay on the bench the entire game. The media, they tried to claim a double standard here. They were asking why he was okay punishing players for kneeling, but he wouldn't punish Ivan Provorov for refusing to taste the rainbow. This is the logic of the mainstream media. In their eyes and their view, disrespecting the men and women in the military, that's acceptable. But refusing to endorse the gay pride, unacceptable. Is it any wonder why trust in the mainstream media is so low? These people in the media, they are living in a completely different world than the rest of us. But give me your thoughts. 2 more examples of fake outrage from the sports media. JJ suggesting Ivan Provorov forfeit his NHL career because he would be more comfortable fighting the war in Ukraine. The Gregor refuses to defend his position on Outkick. Give me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.